Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the predictions and breakdowns. Today we're taking a look at UFC 327, Jiří Procházka versus Carlos Ulberg, which is taking place this Saturday, April 11th, 2026, starting at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It probably would be 5 p.m., but I believe we lost about, I think it was Dong Hong Choi and Andre Lima. I'm not sure. But regardless, we're going to take a look at the entire card, starting off with the early prelims and ending with the main event. This is a massively stacked card. The prelims are juiced. The main card has not looked better than a card I have seen in a long time. I am very excited for this. And we're going to get off right into the first prelim opener. That is a card that was, a bout that was actually added late. Charles Radke, Chuck Buffalo versus Francisco Prado. We're going to go with Charles Radke to get it done probably round 2. Francisco Prado has had a bit of a problem inside the UFC with actually starting his volume. He doesn't seem to be following up his boxing combinations really with anything. Realistically, Francisco Prado should have been the guy to beat up Jake Matthews. He should have been the guy to beat up Nikolay Vertenikov, and yet he has 2 losses in a row from that, stemming from just a lack of activity and a lack of actually willing to push forward. Now, he is 23 years of age. I do believe that he will be able to be better as his time advances down the line, but this is a very tough portion of his career where he's not really getting the performances that he wants, and he's kind of on the out and out. Now, you have Charles Radke, who's right back in the win column with a rear naked choke over Daniel Frunza, who I know Daniel Frunza is not very good, but again, he still gets it done. Beat up Matthew Semelsberger in the first round with a nice clean knockout after Semelsberger is just having a tough time on the feet, finding himself frozen. And then you have Francisco Prado, who's just kind of getting another tough fight, but Charles Radke is very beatable for Francisco Prado. If I'm looking at a plus 3.5, if it's looking at close to even money, I'd probably take it if it's on Francisco Prado. I don't know if Charles is going to win all 3 rounds. I think Francisco's really good on the feet. I think he actually has really good boxing combinations when he has the ability to go off. It's just that he's not, I don't know for what reason, he's not choosing to strike. We have talked about Prado time and time again. This guy's a very good finisher. He's actually very dangerous. Excuse me, and I just don't understand why he's not more willing to be more confident in his combinations. He's got the power, he's got the actual fluidity as well. It just seems as though that he gets a little starstruck inside the octagon. I'm just going to go with Charles Radke for the pick. I would probably stare at a Prado plus 3.5 bet. This fight going over 1.5 rounds. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to decision on that one. Prado's very durable, takes shots very well. If anybody's getting knocked out, it's going to be Charles Radke, probably round 2 or round 3. By Francisco Prado landing a nice shot to the liver, probably following it up with some nice high left and right hook combinations. Now, next on the prelims, you have Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. I'm going to go with Kelvin Gastelum to win, probably by knockout. Vicente Luque had been looking a little bit better with the Anaconda choke over Themba Garimbo. Other than that, not really too much going for him. Joaquin Buckley knocked him out. Kevin Holland was able to finish him. Joel Alvarez, shockingly, not able to finish Vicente Luque, who has had a brain bleed in the past. This guy's got a lot of trauma to his head. He does go down quite easily. He does seem to give up in fights as well. If Joel Alvarez is not putting him out, I'm not too keen on picking Kelvin Gastelum by knockout, but it does seem as though if he gets hit up top a little bit too much, he does give up. Joel Alvarez was throwing knees to the body a lot. Vicente did get hurt, but he just never went down fully. Was able to grapple a little bit with Joel as well and just try to stop the threat. Kelvin Gastelum is just too big of a wrestling threat to even fucking really give a shit. Kelvin is probably just going to walk forward and try to maul Vicente with the stand-up. Now, that's usually what he does. He is lacking some inches of reach, but I don't think it really matters where Vicente Luque doesn't really excel in that type of fight. He does excel on the ground. I don't think he's getting there. I think Kelvin Gastelum's going to look good here. I think he's trying to make himself look a little bit better. I wish Kelvin would really drop to 170, but the fact that Vicente Luque is going up to 185 is a red flag for you. That shows that he is having a tough time cutting weight right now, and he is having a tough time with his career at 170. So usually going up to 185, you're looking to maybe preserve that brain a little bit. So I guess we'll back off of hammering Kelvin Gastelum by knockout too hard, but I do believe he will probably end up drop and finish Vicente Luque on the ground. I think Kelvin Gastelum by KO or decision is your pick. And I think Kelvin Gastelum, as long as he makes weight, he should look just as good as ever. Kid's very durable and just doesn't really back down from any fight. Now, next on the prelims, you have Tatiana Suarez versus Lupe Godinez. And I don't really know why this is so close. And I am 100% totally agree with the odds being in favor of Tatiana Suarez, but the fact that this is almost a coin flip pick'em, this is probably your only chance to get Tatiana Suarez at this price ever again in your life. Listen, if Mackenzie Dern is able to beat her up, if Verna Jandiroba is able to beat her up on the ground, do you not think Tatiana Suarez is going to focus on the wrestling, especially after the loss to Weili Zhang, and just try to maul girls on the ground? That's exactly what's going to happen. Lupita Godinez is not the girl to do it. Tabitha Ricci had a split decision with her. Did end up losing. It was a close fight. Tatiana Suarez here should be able to maul Lupita Godinez on the ground. She should be able to maul every single wrestling position. This is not a matter of skill. This is a matter of just dominance. This is not a Weili Zhang fight where the girl's been inside the octagon for years, had multiple title fights with some of the best girls around. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Rose Namajunas, Jessica Andrade, having many fights with girls throughout the decades of the sport, and you have Tatiana Suarez, who just thought she was going to come in and maul her off of what a 3-year layoff. You thought you were just going to, or a 2-year layoff. You thought you were just going to walk up and just try and walk over Weili Zhang. You fucking wish. You wish. And she was how the fuck was Tatiana Suarez? No, by the way, that is not true. Tatiana Suarez was a minus 140 when that fight started. A minus 140. I got Weili Zhang as an underdog. This is a position where Tatiana Suarez should be a way bigger favorite than she actually is. Lupita Godinez is not even close to her on the ground. I'm going to go with Tatiana Suarez to win by decision or submission. This should be an easy fight for Tatiana Suarez. If this is a hard fight for Tatiana Suarez, you need to lay off the picks on Tatiana Suarez because she's clearly falling off. This should be easy. This fight should not be close. And if Lupita Godinez, listen, she's from Vancouver, or she's fighting out of Vancouver, she's a Canadian as well. I got to root for at least some portion of it, but I just can't in this position. Tatiana Suarez just seems too dominant on the ground. Weili Zhang was just too good as well. It was just a counteract, and then the beat up on the feet was just too overwhelming. Lupita Godinez here doesn't have it. I'm going to go with Tatiana Suarez. Next on the prelims, Mateus Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic. Ribovic just looks lackluster in my opinion. He throws with good intent. He throws with realistic endeavors. He's kind of ruined the career of Daniel Zellhuber. He hasn't really fought the same since, and he was able to beat up Els Brenner on the feet. Now, that's not really a whole lot of high-level wins, in my opinion, and that's kind of why I'm laying towards the side of Mateus Gamrot. Gamrot has been beaten up by Dan Hooker, had a close split decision. Charles Oliveira was able to get him on the ground, but again, Charles Oliveira is one of the most dangerous submission artists in the entire division. He's been inside the UFC, dominating on the ground for years. His jiu-jitsu is probably that of the exact definition of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when you want to think about the word. And Mateus Gamrot here is just a wrestler who wants to maul you, keep you on the ground, and just ragdoll you until you have nothing left. And Esteban Ribovic is the exact guy that he wants to fight. He's the guy that he wants because he wants to swing wide on the feet. Mateus Gamrot's going to take him down when he sits down for a couple boxing combinations, and as soon as he takes him down, Esteban Ribovic is probably going to force himself back up a couple times, and Mateus Gamrot is just going to Khabib the fuck out of him. He's going to drag him back to the ground. He will get Ribovic tired. It will be a round 2, late 2 and 3, where Esteban Ribovic starts breathing very heavy and he's got nothing left. He'll probably sit on his ass for the entire third round, and there'll probably be at least 4 minutes of control time for Mateus Gamrot in that fourth round. I just don't see Esteban Ribovic being the guy who's going to fend off Mateus Gamrot. I don't see Esteban Ribovic being the guy to make it a dogfight like he did with like Dan Hooker did with Mateus Gamrot. Yes, he had a dogfight with Daniel Zellhuber in the third round at UFC 300, at UFC Noche. Or, no, that's not UFC 300. What is it? Hold on. UFC 306, UFC Noche at the Sphere. Listen, he made it a dogfight. He got into that third round. It was a close fight. He ripped combinations on Daniel Zellhuber, had him basically out on his feet. Did not get the finish, but was able to get the decision. Mateus Gamrot is going to maul him on the ground. He is going to just override everything, and he's just going to force all the pressure on Ribovic, force all the weight on the top half, and Ribovic is so long, it's just going to he's not going to get up. There is no shrimping out. There is no getting on a hip. There is no hip. Mateus Gamrot is going to maul him. I'm going to go with Mateus Gamrot to win by decision or knockout on the ground. I think Ribovic is just in for a rude awakening with the overwhelming pressure that comes from Mateus Gamrot. Again, a minus 160 from Mateus Gamrot, a top 10 fighting a literal top 30, get the fuck out of here. Give me Mateus Gamrot all day on the line. Now, next on the prelims, they're not looking for a finish yet, but it's getting close. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. We're going with Kevin Trailblazer Holland versus Rude Boy Brown. Now, the reason why is because the first thought I had in my head was Kevin Holland, and I'm not going away from that. Every time I switch my fucking pick, it's a bad sign. Listen, anytime Kevin Holland fights somebody in the top 15, he loses. Anytime he fights anybody outside of the top 15, he has a really good fight against them. Do I really want to pick Randy Brown? Yeah, kind of. You know why? Because Kevin Holland lost to fucking Daniel Rodriguez. Who got cracked and almost finished by Daniel Rodriguez? Kevin Holland. How? Who fucking knows? Kevin Holland needs to pay attention. He needs to actually pay attention to his fights. He needs to actually try as well. I will not be putting Kevin Holland in any big parlays as well. He'll maybe get stuck on one or two because he's not going to be the guy that fucks up my parlay again. How many thousands of dollars have I lost because of Kevin Holland? I had a $20 bet on an 18-pick parlay that includes some NBA picks, and I had Kevin Holland. Guess who fucking lost? Kevin Holland. Fucking bum. Against, it was Mike. No, it was Daniel Rodriguez, and then there was another one. Yeah, Ranier de Ritter, he got submitted by. I had over. Fuck you, Kevin Holland. Fuck you. You should have been able to fucking dog on that guy, and you just look like shit. God damn it. Kevin Holland is just... He's a problem, dude. This guy is literally a problem, and he just never focuses down. If Kevin Holland focused down on his fucking fight game, if he actually tried, this guy would be a UFC welterweight champion, and not even close. His jiu-jitsu is ridiculous. His wrestling's awesome. His boxing out of this world. He just doesn't pay attention. He just wants to talk too much shit in fights, and doesn't really fucking go all out. I love Rude Boy Brown to maybe get plus 3.5 here, but I think Kevin Holland is just too much on the feet. I think he's just too long. Rude Boy Brown tries to get in close, tries to use his reach. Listen, you're outreached here, bud. You've got no reach advantage here. You're going to get tagged up on the outside. He had a close fight with Chaos Williams where Chaos Williams was swinging wide and almost cracking Rude Boy Brown. Randy had to get into the fight in the second and third round because he lost the first very clearly. And then, close fight. Chaos could have won that as well, but that was one of the first fights I actually watched live as well. I was watching Rude Boy Brown against Chaos Williams at UFC 274 back in 2022. That was probably the first card I watched live, and that was awesome. I was watching that, and I watched Michael Chandler just shin Tony Ferguson back into the fucking Shadow Realm. If Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 2 was earlier than that, then I watched that as well, but... Anyway, Kevin Holland, we're picking by decision or knockout. I think this is, or excuse me, submit. Oh, fuck. I forgot about his anaconda. Do I really think he's going to drop Brown? Let me think about this. Do I think Rude Boy Brown's going to get dropped cold? Probably not. Do I think Rude Boy gets cracked? Yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Holland to win by submission or decision. I think Rude Boy Brown's going to get cracked. Sat into the anaconda is going to be forced to tap. I think Rude Boy Brown's good. I don't know, man. He's getting forced into these positions really quickly. Brian Battle, honestly, he could have lost that fight as well. But Randy Brown getting knocked out and then coming back. Getting a little nervous. It's only 4 months ago, and he got knocked out pretty fucking clean. Just saying. Next on the prelims, looking for a finish here. If you're on Paramount, if you're putting it right before the main card, you're looking for it. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. They're looking for Aaron Pico to rock the fuck out of Patricio Pitbull. And that's what I'm picking. I'm going to go with Aaron Pico to win by submission or decision. Or excuse me, by submission or knockout against Patricio Pitbull. I think Patricio Pitbull is in a bad position here. I think he's a little bit older. I think the Bellator champ is just coming into position against a guy who just has nothing else to lose at this point. He just got knocked out by Lerone Murphy after looking like a world beater. He literally looked like the guy that was going to shut down Lerone Murphy and actually give him a lot of problems on the feet, and then immediately got spinning elbowed back into the fucking Shadow Realm. If you're Patricio Pitbull, you're worried about this fight. You're getting a little nervous because the kid's got 3.5 inches on you. He's got 2 inches of height. He's got probably the frame as well because Aaron Pico's absolutely fucking jacked. He's only 29 years of age. The kid's got another 10 years in the fight game. Patricio Pitbull's on the way out. He's got 2 years left maybe. Father Time's already caught up. And now you got Pitbull who comes into the UFC. He beat Dan Ige, but even Dan Ige gets beat up by Dan Ige. Dan Ige fucking takes 5-minute fights. He took a fight against Diego Lopez in literally 5 minutes notice. He was in the crowd drinking a fucking beer. What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Patricio Pitbull here, he's just in a bad spot. There is no way I can see Patricio Pitbull winning unless it's a flash knockout. And if he's really going to try and fight this fight against Aaron Pico, he's in for a rude awakening because Pitbull's a wrestler. Aaron Pico's better than him everywhere in wrestling. So good fucking luck. I'm going to go with Aaron Pico to win just by mauling. This should be a rock'em sock'em right till Pitbull drops to the floor. Aaron Pico follows him up with some really nice back take and just hammer shots with the left hook. Just hammer shots until Pitbull's flat out cold. Aaron Pico's going to win this. He's going to win in fashion. He's back after 7 months. Maybe a little bit too soon, but hopefully he gets it. I mean, the last time I saw him get slumped was what? Henry Corrales? Just fucking bop! Back in 2019, just fucking slumped after he hurt Henry bad, too. He hurt Henry really bad. Really fucking bad. And he followed up exactly like he did against Laura Murphy. He just got slumped for it because he lowered his guard right away. Next, to start off the main card, listen, I am never going to pick against him because I literally can't. I love the guy too much. Cub Swanson against Nate Landwehr. I'm going with Cub. I cannot pick against Cub in his retirement fight. This is a fight where they basically should be gifting Cub a knockout victory for his last fight. Basically gifting him. Excuse me. Fucking Christ. This should be a super easy fight for Cub Swanson to win. Nate Landwehr has been knocked out twice in a row. And Morgan Chahier, if he's getting him by knockout, Nate's at the bottom of the barrel at this point. Morgan, I don't think, is that good. Cub Swanson's way better than Morgan. The knockout over Billy Quarantillo, Quarantillo, excuse me, in the third round was nasty. The slip and then the 1-2 and just absolutely slumped the shit out of Billy. That was an amazing knockout, and I think Cub is riding the momentum. I think he wants to get the retirement fight in front of his family, in front of his kids. I think he wants the knockout. I think he's going to get in the first 2 rounds. I think I'm going to pick with Cub Swanson, plus 120. Give me it all day. The guy's 42 years of age, but the power hasn't left him yet, nor the speed, clearly, in the boxing. Nate Landwehr is going to try to roll him in the first round. I don't think he's going to get it. I think he's going to be gassed, and I think Cub Swanson comes back to tag Nate Landwehr out in the second round. I'm going to go with Cub Swanson, KO or decision. Should be easy for the man. I think the retirement fight is just exactly what he needs. I think he needs to get out of the game while he's still above 50%. Oh, boys. Sometimes guys fight forever, man. Sometimes they will literally go forever. Actually, above 66%, but still. If he loses this fight, 66% is still not that bad in your career. I'm not going to lie. Next on the main card, Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. If you're really going to pick between Shinny and Chinny, you got to go with Reyes. A little bit more power, a little bit more durable. Johnny Walker's just been chin goofy way too many times. He's actually completely lost in the grappling as well sometimes. Johnny Walker had a good fight against Ming Yang Zhang. That was just kind of a fraud check. Ming Yang Zhang has no cardio whatsoever. He was able to crack Johnny early, but then he just got taken down when he tried to do something wild. Dominic Reyes here should be super, super easy to just maul the fuck out of him. I think Johnny Walker's just in for a rude awakening. I think the spinning elbow's in play. I think the elbows are in play. I think the big right hand from Dominic Reyes is going to lead into a big finish for the boy. I think the knees are in play as well, but I don't think Johnny Walker is going to allow him to get close. Nor do I think Dominic Reyes wants to be close. I think the flying knee from Johnny Walker that he throws almost every fight when he gets a little bit scared is something to be fucking afraid of. If that hits anybody, your career is gone. Realistically, that is literally a career ender. That knee comes from his hip, and it comes from a fucking unbelievable jumping position, and he just rocks people. I've seen people in training just get absolutely slumped by that. So I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes, but I'm going to say be careful with Johnny Walker. I'm going to go under 1.5 rounds for this fight. If you're betting it, probably where you're sitting at. I don't think this is going much farther than the second round. Fight not to start the third round is probably a better bet. Either way, someone's getting slumped in this fight. No one's making it to decision, and if we do, this fight's rigged. Dominic Reyes, knockout or decision, just in case. Next on the main card, Curtis Blades versus Josh Hawkick, and I cannot believe I'm going to pick him. I actually fucking can't. I genuinely cannot believe I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick Josh Hawkick to win by knockout. I think Curtis Blades is fucking terrible at this point in his career. Rizvan Kunyev should have been an easy win for Curtis Blades. That should have been an easy knockout, and the guy gassed out in the first round. Okay, Tom Aspinall beat the fuck out of him. Jailton Almeida fucking sucks. Sergey Pavlovich fucking beat the shit out of him. Tom Aspinall had a knee injury, and that's his last fucking 3 years of fighting. Fuck you. Josh Hawkick is going to run at him and try and put him out very quickly. And I think Josh Hawkick showed in the Denzel Freeman fight, he doesn't give a fuck about range. He's willing to just brawl with dudes no matter what. He was just giving Denzel Freeman a run for his money. And Denzel Freeman literally gave up at the end of the first round and had to sit down, and they had to stop the fight because the guy literally was fucking done. Josh Hawkick has unbelievable power. The guy's been talking shit all week. He's trying to make a goof of himself. He's trying to be that heel, like a WWE star. It's not really working. He's just making a bit of a fool of himself, trying to be racist, trying to be something funny. But, I mean, it's pretty fucking funny. I'm not going to lie. But still, a little bit too goofy for my liking. I think he's just trying to take it too much of the dumb fucking route. I was going to say a different word. We all know what word I was going to say. But dumb fucking route. And I think... Curtis Blades humbling him would not be too bad, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I think Josh is just too good. I think he's just too in the zone right now, and I think until someone humbles him, he's just going to be on a roll, especially at heavyweight. Heavyweight's filled with shitters anyway. Curtis Blades fucking proving to be one of them, and if they're giving him a fucking rank 6 fight, oh my god. Josh Hawkick as an underdog as well. I understand we're a little bit worried about Curtis Blades in the wrestling, but Josh being a really good wrestler as well. He's not having to deal with the weight as well. He's going to be a little bit more mobile than Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades is going to be gassed a lot quicker than Josh Hawkick. I mean, even Josh Hawkick in round 2 looked pretty good against, who was it? Uriel, but like he just kept running at him. Like Uriel may at least fucking made it to the decision in his career. Or no, he didn't. Who the fuck am I thinking about that he fought? He fought somebody, and I thought he was going to last a lot longer. Is it Max Jimenez? Yeah, Jimenez has some fucking decisions. Jimenez got knocked out instantly. Anyway, Josh is going to win. That's all I'm saying. I don't like Curtis Blades at this point. The only fight that I picked him to win was what? Against Chris Daukaus? Yeah. Okay, dude. Chris Daukaus. Get the fuck out of here. Next on the main card, you have the co-main event of the evening, Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. We're going to go with Azamat Murzakanov to win by round 1 knockout. I think Paulo Costa is just in for a fucking bad fight. Murzakanov is a guy who gets rocked as shit, gets completely gassed, and guess what he does? Keeps walking forward. He just doesn't care. He literally walks forward, right hand, left hand, right hand, gets cracked. Ooh, he's a little tired. Takes a deep breath, walks forward, and just starts throwing crazy shit. Azamat Murzakanov is at the best part of his career right now. He's moving down, Paulo Costa's moving up to light heavyweight. And this could not be a better fight for Azamat Murzakanov. Paulo Costa is moving into a position where he's not cutting weight really anymore, and that's a bad spot for Paulo Costa because his whole thing at middleweight is being bigger than everybody. That's his whole fucking thing. His whole thing is being better than literally everybody because of the fact that he's looks like he's on juice. Azamat Murzakanov is a natural light heavyweight. He's going to fuck Paulo Costa up. I'm telling you that right now. He's going to rock his shit, and it will not make it to the decision bell. I promise you that. There's no fucking way. And if it makes it to the decision bell, I'm going to eat my fucking shoe because there's no fucking way these guys are going to the decision, especially because this is not a technical striking battle. This is Azamat Murzakanov walking forward and trying to end the fight. The dude's 5'10" at light heavyweight. He's going to fucking win. I'm telling you. The dude's fat and he's fucking ready to roll. Look at his shoulders. Dude, look at those shoulders. Look at the bump. Look at it. Holy shit. It's like he's got 2 fucking shoulders on him. Dude's fucking weird. Azamat Murzakanov, co-main event of the evening. Smash that shit by knockout. Next, the main event of the evening. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. I will be live for the entire card starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Saturday just to try and set up some bets. And then we will see what's up at 5 o'clock, see if it starts a little bit early. And if not, well, maybe we'll play some music and hang out. But Jiří Procházka versus Carlos Blackjack Ulberg. I literally don't think I can fucking not pick Jiří Procházka. I don't think. I think people are telling me all week, stay away from Jiří. Listen, Carlos Ulberg got gassed against Kennedy and Jetsku. I get it. It was on short notice or whatever, or it was at altitude. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It was against Kennedy and Jetsku, and he got knocked out in the second round. If Jiří Procházka gets tagged, the dude keeps walking forward. Okay? Carlos Ulberg, the only way this guy's going to win is a high kick. Okay? Jiří Procházka does not get rocked by anything other than high kicks. And I don't know why. Don't tell me why. I don't know why. High kicks. Okay? High kicks. He just gets rocked by high kicks. It's always high kicks or a left hook. Something like that. Because he always steps off. Jiří always steps off to the left. Always to the left. So if Carlos just swings his left hand, boom, he'll crack him. This fight should not make it to the decision bell. And Jiří Procházka should win by a round 3 knockout. Reason being, Carlos Ulberg is going to gas. This guy's going to throw a lot of shit at Jiří Procházka. He's going to hurt him at one point. He's going to do something, and he's not going to have him because Jiří just doesn't die. This guy was a minus or plus 8,000 against Khalil Roundtree Jr. in the third round, and this motherfucker knocked him out with, what, 2 minutes ago? Yeah, 2 minutes ago. 1:56 on the clock. He had 2 minutes to go. He lost the first 2 rounds, got rocked to shit, was bleeding out of his nose, was pissing blood out of his mouth, and this dude rocked the fuck out of Khalil Roundtree Jr. and threw more volume than he threw the first 2 rounds. It's almost like he went to the corner and they were like, listen, Jiří, you just got to win. He was like, all right, let's go. And he just walked forward. The dude just walked forward. He fucking walked forward and didn't give a shit. Like, he literally didn't care. Like, Khalil was throwing at him. He just ate it. At one point, he literally did, like, a flying knee at him just to, like, jump at him. And then just fucking, like, hooked him. Like, it was the craziest shit I've seen in my life. Carlos Ulberg has fought Dominic Reyes, a 40-year-old Jan Blachowicz, a Volkan Ozdemir who's almost 40, Alonzo Menafield who shouldn't even be in the UFC, and Dawoon Jong. Listen. And Ihor Potieria. And Nikolay Gamaranu. Like, who the fuck is that dude? That dude looks like fucking shit. I don't even remember that guy. Listen, I remember everybody. If I can't remember that guy, that guy's dog shit. Jiří Procházka has fought the best of the best in the division. There should be no way that anybody's picking against him. I understand the odds are close. It's almost a pick 'em. That's good. You're getting Jiří Procházka at a good price. You're not getting him as a big underdog or a big favorite either. And Carlos Ulberg, listen, the dude's good. I think he's really good. Do I really think City Kickboxing is going to have another champion after the display of Israel Adesanya? No. No, I don't. No, I really don't. I think Jiří Procházka is just going to wade into the fire and knock Carlos Ulberg out. There's 5 rounds of this shit. Carlos Ulberg has like 4 decisions in his entire career, and Jiří Procházka is willing to go to any round it matters. He's had a submission in the 5th round as well. He's got like a rear naked choke in the 5th round. Oh, who was that against again? He had Glover Teixeira with 30 seconds to go in a fight he completely got fucked in. Bro, this guy just always pulls it out. I can't go against Jiří Procházka. He's just got too much aura. I'm going to go with Jiří Procházka to win by knockout or decision. That is my final pick of the day as a minus 135, and that's all I have for you guys. I will have a betting video up for tomorrow. That's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys all for the live. I'll see you guys all for the betting talk, and I'll see you guys all for the compilation that I'm going to try and make tomorrow while I have my day off. Hopefully you guys all had a fantastic day. I will see you guys all later. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. Let me know what you thought of the picks. Let me know if you got any changes in the comments below that you would pick. And let me know if you guys got any good bets that you can pick for this weekend, because I will throw them in my video as well on Thursday. I'll see you guys all later. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.